Well, good morning, everybody, and hope you are well. Here we are, it's February, and everything here at home and on the allotment is just a little bit frosty, a little bit too cold to really do any gardening again. This is becoming a bit of a theme throughout 2023 at the moment, isn't it? So, struggled with making a video this week, but what I did do is I went to a seed swapping event on Sunday. Now, up and down the country at the moment, seed swapping events are happening all over the place, and I do recommend, if you are after some seeds or want to get involved, then do go along to a local seed swapping event. They are absolutely brilliant. The one I went to was called Seedy Sunday, and this is a seed swap event that I have been to for quite a few years. Obviously 2020 onwards was a little bit tricky with COVID, and we're starting to see the effects of what has happened there, but it will rebuild, I'm sure. So, what is Seedy Sunday? Basically, in its nutshell, it is the largest seed swap event in the UK. I also believe it to be the longest running seed swap event. And we go along. There's obviously a huge hall dedicated to the seed swap, and this is where many people who get involved, they take some of their seeds. This could be their seeds that they've saved from their own allotment, their own garden, or seeds that they've brought in and just haven't used. They take them down and they swap them for some other seeds, out of which they then take home and grow. And again, the idea being we might save the seeds from them to swap next year. Now, I went with the intention that I wasn't going to get any seeds. I've got hundreds and hundreds of packs of seeds, but once I was there, I just couldn't resist. So I did end up getting some seeds. I got some melons, some haricot beans, which I'm looking forward to growing, some borlotti beans, and some crown prince squash. So they are all going to be grown this year, either here at home or down on the allotment. Beans definitely, I think, will be grown here at home. So what else did we have at Seedy Sunday? Below the seed swap in hall, there was the market hall. Now, usually this has got quite a large amount of stalls, but it was in a very different venue this year. It also was much smaller. Apparently, a lot of the usual sellers were struggling to make it worthwhile to get there with the cost of fuel, etc, etc. So there was a few less sellers. There was a few potatoes for sale that I did spot, which usually there's a lot more variety of potatoes. However, I did come away with some strawberry plants, which again, these are going to be grown here at home. I do like my nice strawberry. I've got two varieties, Pristine and Cambridge, both of which have been potted up, and we're looking forward to seeing just how well they get on. And then there were talks going on. Now, I always enjoy the talks at this event because there's always some really good speakers. I also feel we pay £4 to get in, which I don't think is bad value, but £4 to get in, and the talks are more than worth the £4 alone. So yeah, I sat in on some of the talks. There was some about a seed bank. There was some like a local gardeners question time with the people who volunteer on the site, and then Charles Dowding right at the very end also doing a talk, and I came away from that inspired and feeling like I'm ready to get this growing season upon us. So yeah, that really good day out. The only criticism, two criticisms I have. One is the parking. Being Brighton, parking is always a challenge, and if you want to spend all day there, it can cost quite a bit of money for parking. Of course, if you live local to Brighton, which is what this seed bank is initially for, then it's not so difficult to park. But like myself, I live about an hour away from Brighton, so I did either have to travel or catch a train. And trains I don't think were working, because that's one of the trouble we had with one of the talkers. But that's out of the organisers' hands, parking. That's a completely separate issue. The other criticism I had, I actually went with my friend Lee Connolly from the Skinny Jean Gardener, and he also brought some strawberries, but we brought them quite early on in the day, and we had nowhere to leave the plants. We had to I carried mine around all day, which was a little bit tricky. Lee managed to staff his in a hedge, and they were still there at the end of the day. So yeah, I could have done it. Many of the shows I go to, we have like a plant creche that will look after the plants for you. I think that would have been a good thing to have, but there were issues with space, and it is volunteer led, so it is a bit tricky. Only two very slight criticisms that I have. I never like to not share some criticism. You know, it's always good to get some feedback on where to improve, I believe. But yeah, highly enjoyed it. Again, if you have got a seed swap event near you, let me know what it's like down in the comments below, and if you are going and getting involved. I think they're a great thing to go into. You can find a great range of seeds that you may not usually grow. I should say, I mean, Seedy Sunday, if you haven't got seeds to swap, you can actually make a donation and get some seeds for 50p a pack. So that's what I ended up doing. Really enjoyed it. If you went, let me know in the comments as well. Right, I am going to go and try and do some gardening. So I'll see you in the next one.